What other, have you kids ever watched like documentaries online, you know? Okay, like do you watch, what kind of documentaries you watch?
I watch small documentary.
Like let's say about other, yeah, back there. Yeah, you.
Like JFK assassination.
JFK assassination. JFK is not a relevant Canadian person, right? So you're learning about American culture, right?
I've watched a lot of documentaries on like plane crashes for some reason. Kind of scary.
I watch nature documentaries.
Nature documentary. I fell asleep in nature documentary last night.
I love
Yeah,
No.
so
that
good.
sounds
I watched like a guy, a white guy, explore cannibal like that tribe.
Brianna.
Where?
Sniper. I think it's in South Africa.
Okay. That's a lot of, you know, cultural difference. Okay, last one.
I watched a documentary on this really powerful German dude who started a war. Who was targeting Jewish people.
Sure. Learning about other people's history. Okay. So again, great tense. Let's come back here. Okay. The more we find our lives determined by global forces, so different countries, different communities, different things, the more we find ourselves driven inward to ourselves, right? Thank you for copying that motion, right? Inwards to ourselves. I'm pointing to my heart deliberately, right? The more we find ourselves driven inward to affirm our roots in our local communities. So how do you kids connect to Leduc? Like, what do you do that connects you to Leduc? How many of you like, okay, you have your hand up.
Can I go to the bathroom?
I knew you were gonna ask that. My answer is no.
I can
because
answer the
now-
question and then can I go?
Sure, give me a good answer.
I'm a citizen of Leduc and I go to school in Leduc.
You're a
and I shop in
citizen of
I shop in
Leduc.
Leduc.
Okay, you go to school in Leduc, you shop in Leduc.
And I'm a citizen here. I
You're
live
resident.
Resident.
You're
I'm
a
a
citizen of Canada, you're a resident of
South-
Leduc.
I'm a resident of Canada.
Okay, which neighborhood do you represent?
Sturgeon Bend.
What? I can't, grade 10, I can't hear. She's not that far away, I can't hear, because you're all talking. You represent South Fork? Okay, does anyone else represent South Fork?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's throw up that gang sign, right? Like, there's your S, South Fork. Okay, that's an S, or is it gotta be this way? Which way is it right?
I'm from there.
Alright, boys, so what is this? What are you throwing up?
LA. Los Angeles. I'm from.
Where you not from?
Hey, you got, you got like 5 minutes. I have the time here. Okay.
I'm a resident.
So what else do you do? What else do you do in Leduc that makes you really feel like a Leduc citizen?
Go on to pizza shops, because that's all we have.
Going to pizza shops. Well, okay, what are like Leduc's best pizza shops? Because I love pizza.
Little Caesars.
No.
Little Caesars. I can go to Edmonton and get that.
Yeah,
Cosmos?
Cosmos.
Cosmos? Cosmos?
Cosmos is like the only local.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you grade 10s, no way you're having this long distance conversation again. You
Never
kids are getting
seen
moved.
a Little
Okay.
Caesars. in
When you go to Cosmos, for those of you who go, do you feel like a Leduc person?
I feel very young, because only old people like those.
That's like Coach and
I've never heard of
Okay,
it.
Cosmos is like, they're like.
How many of you like go to the LRC? Excellent. Do you feel like you're partaking in the Leduc community?
No. No.
Oh, kinda.
I live in Edmonton.
Kinda, thank you. I can work with that. How so?
Playing on the Leduc team.
Playing on a Leduc team, right? Participating in a Leduc business. Where's like the go-to spot? LRC, okay, right? So you know, it's like a geographically relevant area until you're like 18, then you go on into the world. Right, the LRC, you go there. Do you guys see each other there often? Like just after school? I'm not talking about like, oh, we went there for gym class, so yes, we saw each other.
It's mad awkward when we see each other.
Yeah.
Why?
Cause I want to see them.
Yeah.
No way, that's so mean.
No, it's true. That's so weird.
I know, they're
So weird.
That's even with my closest friends.
Like imagine just like what if I was like Shannon.
so if you just show up and they're also there, you're like, oh, that's weird, get away.
I just put my
Yeah,
head
just
down
leave.
and not look.
No, that's so bizarre.
Like I'll side eye them.
I feel like that's a young people thing, cause like I was out having food with some friends yesterday, and a buddy randomly showed up, Like he was ordering from the same restaurant. I like waved at him and was like, hey, what's going on? And then he just did not come over to my table and chat. He just waited for his order quietly on his phone. What do you mean? You come say hello, man. There's nothing wrong with saying hello. I thought he was gonna come over to me. And then at some point I realized my legs work and I can get up, I can walk over, I can say hello to him. But I just didn't because he's like on his phone. It's messed up, right? What's that? Yeah, COVID remnants. Yes, back there.
It's like if you like see someone that you know out in public, I wouldn't say hi.
Like if I saw you, I would say hi.
That's so mean. I'd be so happy to see you. Like, oh, how you doing, man?
Maybe I get like, I'll get the nod.
Especially if I was with my parents.
I'd walk over to your grocery shopping cart. I'd be like, what do you eat? what do you guys buy? Learn those cultural differences. It's not creepy at all. I just look.
Look at what you eat for dinner.
I would just look. I wouldn't touch. I would just look. Okay. I do grade 10. I do what Americans call rubbernecking, right? Look how my neck stretches out. And I just look over. Here's my cart. Here's his cart. I rubberneck. Okay. Okay. So the more we find our lives determined by global forces and confronted with difference, the more we find ourselves driven inward to affirm our roots in our local communities. Okay. So basically, the more the world acts on us, the more we want to get involved with our local communities, with the friends around you. But apparently not, right? Apparently it's awkward and cringe to see your friends anywhere other than school. Yeah, I guess.
Like if I thought Julie was
But you'd ignore me. You wouldn't be like, hey, what's up, Mr. Kawaja?
Well, it depends.
well, you my coach.
If you're
Like,
purposely hanging out with
You're
them,
not hugging me. Like,
Hug your homies, man. There's nothing wrong with that. The more we become members of a global community, the more we insist on our local identity. So the more you're like bombarded with the news from the outside world, some people, not all people, some people say, hey, maybe I should be more concerned about my local community. Some people, I think, just latch on. They're like, oh, finally, something for me to do. I'm going to feel very much a type of way about insert thing, right? Like a lot of people, and I was there once, right? A lot of people are very like Israel, Palestine. Some people became experts on Ukraine overnight when Russia invaded. I don't know if you know those people. Have you kids seen the meme, the hashtag I support the current thing?
No.
Oh, you kids don't interact with the same information. Okay, never mind.
no, it's just Josh Giddy.
What's that? Who's Josh Giddy? Oh, don't even bother. Okay. So the more the external global world acts on us, some people choose to get connected to their local community or their family, perhaps. The more we insist on our local communities and cherish the ties that bind us to smaller groups. So things that connect us could be a shared language, according to Beverly McLachlan, a shared language, shared traditions, culture, or a common history. Okay, so we have a lot of those. We have shared language. Many of you have, like, to some extent, a common history. How many of you, like, a lot of you have gone to school together with each other, right? You all experienced COVID together, okay? Culture, right? You grew up in a similar culture. Like, how many of you listen to Drake?
Yes, sir.
Just raise your hand if you listen to Drake. Like honestly, just get better music taste, okay? Okay. The global world is large and frightening and offers scant affirmation of who we are as individuals. So it drives us back on ourselves and those around us, I think, who share our roots and values. Now imagine for a second, grade 10s, if this was the quote for your next essay and you had to write a position paper on it. Like how screwed would you be? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like handing in a blank paper. 10, you're at 10. This quote, you don't even know which quote.
Wait, would it be the whole one thing?
What?
Could be the whole thing.
Oh, it's a whole
Oh, it'd be like a core.
Just for the record, some of you might be thinking you're gonna be a hero and do 30-1 social. The essays in that will have like sources with quotes like this long, and they're a lot more complex than this. Like this is pretty basic. It's just like a regular person talking. Yeah. So just so you know, you're like half rolling your eyes, but I'm trying to give you some wisdom here. Right? This. Okay. Just so you know, she's reading a book. Wait. Okay. So now, let's take a look. We looked at the big global world, looked at the big culture, the process that makes us like one, similar, okay, monoculture, because we're all accessing the same things on the internet, okay. Some of the responses, cultural revitalization, this might be useful to know for your test. Cultural revitalization is this process in which you bring new life back to your culture, right? And so for many indigenous peoples, there's quite the extensive process, and it's really, there's a lot of support for it, that indigenous people should do this, that many people should connect to their culture. Okay. And there might be some backlash when some people try connecting to theirs. It's unfortunate, but you know, it's reality. Okay. Many cultures today that have been marginalized or assimilated in the past are attempting to revitalize their culture. Okay. And that might be connecting to the youth, trying to connect with the community, relearn their language, partake in traditions, partake in traditional ceremonies, wear the right clothing. Okay. How many of you have a Christmas tree set up at home? Okay. You're partaking in like a kind of quasi-Judeo-Christian culture and tradition. Are you connecting to that? How many of you exchange gifts?
What?
How many of you exchange gifts during Christmas? Right. So that might be a hijacking of a tradition. I don't know, right? I don't know that much, but I don't think the purpose of celebrating Christmas was, you know, to like get expensive gifts and trade and express love through that, right? Like how many of you have a dinner Christmas, right? Or like you get